It's just a fate, man. It's just the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey, we ain't the boss. The Lord is the boss, man. So if you got an issue with a certain nation not being able to receive recompense or what would you call it, not being able to receive mercy, then take it up with the Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to tell you how could the clay question the potter?
Exactly.
The pot?
So really, more or less, you just need to shut your ass
Shut
up.
the fuck up.
But you people ain't gonna stop. You gonna argue your remedial points till you're blue in the face. But we don't care, bro.
I mean, the ox knows his master.
Hey,
That's his master's crib.
Exactly, man.
Simple.
That's what's wrong.
Even a babe like me can get that. I'm just a wee babe.
Did you have another set? Y'all brothers got sets?
I got one. I think this brother's been holding.
We'll get a couple more.
Yeah, that's actually literally ties yours and my timing is set together. And this is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 22. And you know what? No, I'm gonna start at 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not Yahweh. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains.
Good, brother.
So the Lord's saying right now that our people have made him jealous. As a matter of fact, downright furious for saying, well, Ham's over there, they got this God. He's giving out free gifts, so, let me just go try it out for a minute. Right. Or Moab's over there, they got this thing called a golden dragon. You hear that? It's gold. Let me go try that. When literally the Lord gave you everything, gave you life, put you ahead of every other nation.
And who gave you the manna, man?
Yeah.
And then you said, well, I see what you're doing, but let me go over here real quick.
Yeah.
That made him downright just blind with anger.
Yep.
So he said, I'm going to send and this is a future prophecy, if I'm not mistaken.
Patty's priest.
Yeah, I'm gonna send a fire upon your nations.
That is Patty's Swift.
That shall burn all your foundations and mountains, meaning it's gonna burn your chief people.
Why didn't he sell
the foundations of the mountains of your tribes or your nations. Another name for a mountain would be a nation in this sense. So he's pissed off so much, he's gonna send a fire to burn as a punishment this nation of his that forsook him. Or forsook, yeah, I guess forsook would be the word. So you people are done. You chose another power.
Yeah, and it's like, how would you feel if you had a woman and she was getting poked by another dude?
Or better yet, how would you feel?
You know what I'm saying?
Dave Chappelle did it with Nick Cannon. His kid, he's like, well, Nick Cannon's funnier, so I'm gonna go live with him. Dave Chappelle's like, well, fuck you then.
Yeah.
To his own kid.
Right.
Or even like
That's how I think the Lord felt.
a good friend, a good friend.
No, it was a little skit that he had on the show. He's like, this kid's like,
he was like,
Nick Cannon's funnier than you. And he just left him. And Dave Chappelle's like,
he was like, you know what?
Fuck you then.
Fuck you, son. You can go live with Nick Cannon.
And that's how the Lord feels.
Right.
His own children said, well, this God over here is a little bit better than you, so let me just slip out.
Right.
The Lord said, okay.
Hey man, but Jack is stupid, man.
I got that punishment.
They stupid today. They were stupid long ago. They were stupid in the desert.
Nothing new.
Wanted to go back to Egypt for chicken and watermelon, man.
It's hot. Can
For
we
real.
go back?
I'm tired of eating this manna. I can just hear Nick this right now.
There's no
I'm
lemon in it.
I'm tired of all this shit.
The Egyptians gave us watermelons.
This bread is not
There ain't no
arid.
sugar. It's mad as hell about some dumb shit. Like, bitch, come on, man.
So you got brought out of slavery.
Out of captivity.
Yeah.
And you're mad.
And you mad?
That's why in Isaiah 3, the women are going to sit in the dust also.
Right.
Because, they're just as spoiled too. In fact, even more spoiled because, men go and literally lust after women so bad that they'll pay money to be with the woman. And it's not supposed to be like
And
that.
not getting that.
Right.
That's right.
We're not supposed to get on our knee and give you a ring. You should be getting on your knee and giving us rings. Because we're the one that bear the seed. We're the ones that have that seed of salvation, really.
Yeah.
Because any other seed is going to be destroyed.
That's right.
That's good shit.
But that's good. Hey, man, but at the end of the day, like the brother just made the mention, that's going to be the case for the men that are up your left. That's going to be the case. They're going to have so many children they won't even. You might just have to give them numbers or sections or something.
Innumerable.
Yeah. Because you're going to lose track.
And you know what? There was a time in Israel where it was so fruitful, everyone had twins. The whole nation was producing twins.
Damn.
Yeah. And that's fruitful. Because that's like 2 for the 1.
Yo.
Right?
You know what I mean?
It's like
Yo.
buy one,
Got the
get
2
one
for
free.
1 special.
Buy one, get 2 free.
That was the time of fruitfulness in Israel.
Yo.
Well, yeah, we're back in the land.
I didn't know that.
We're fruitful, we're prospering now.
How many women give birth to twins, let alone could like
Keep
bear
doing
them where they're healthy right now? No.
They're usually preemies.
Or one will be weaker than the other.
Exactly.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, man. Take it up with the Lord.
It's like
Take it up with Yahweh, man. You know, people get mad, but it's not like we out here telling lies or spewing out our own opinions. This is just scriptural information that's more than once been proved through study and research, man. And really, when you get to the nitty gritty, it's just we just telling you what the scripture says. You know, everything else we've done is just kind of overkill.
Yeah.
Study of words and knowing these ancient languages, or at least putting an effort into knowing what words mean in ancient languages. We done did that. You know, you ain't gonna be able to just approach this line and just start spouting off your thinks and feels, man.
I think and I feel.
That's good. And eventually you'll cut yourself, man. And you know, ask the nice black lady who was up here earlier.
You know, I heard a brother breaking down on a video that how could this last 10 more years?
Right.
When you see how many people reject the truth, there's nobody here.
Right.
You know, people walk by all day long.
Yep.
And we got camps throughout the whole world and that happened. So it says that he had to make the days shorter so that the elect don't perish.
To be safe.
To be saved.
Yeah,
if it was longer, no flesh would be saved.
Right. It literally says that too.
So look how small these camps are. We're in that time where if you don't come soon enough, no flesh shall be preserved.
Right.
All flesh will perish.
No, it tarry, it don't tarry.
Right.
Because it's gonna come, man. And when it does, you know, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people, you know, that just all of a sudden trying to find you. You know what I'm saying? People that you tried to tell.
Phone's gonna be blowing up.
Yeah. I'm gonna just take the battery out my shit, just smash it on the floor. I think.
So sorry.
Yeah, so sorry. Tried to help, tried to give you this, and give you some of that.
And that's where that fame is going to come in.
Yeah.
Because the fame is going to come in knowing that you were the doctor and they missed out on that prescription,
Right.
which is the word.
That's the truth, man. You got some more, brother, on your end?
God. So, you know, after all this, we got to put it all together, man. You saw how Israel fell off. You saw all these things that happened throughout the Old Testament. How they continually did wickedness, man. You know, and so finally, the Most High said, "I'm through with you niggas. I'm sending my only begotten Son, that maybe through him, the elect will get into the kingdom." All right.
That's all I want.
And all the things that are written here, man, they're enough for the elect, man. But I'm gonna get this Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 1. Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering not his rest being the kingdom. All right, so let us fear, because why? Because we read the things that happened. We read the things that happened through Deuteronomy. We read the things that happened through the Judges. We read the things that happened through Isaiah, through Jeremiah, so on and so forth, man. It's like a man of war will also be a man of scars. All right, so from each of those scars, you learn something. You learn something of how you should be now. So you better, that man with many scars, he knows what he's doing, man. Because you got to learn from these things, all right? So it says, let us fear, lest through lack of I'm gonna start at the top again. Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. All right, so let us fear, because we don't want to come short of that.
No.
We got to fear, and we got to stay trying to do everything we can.
Right. Man,
Trying
you
to-
should have calluses on your
Trying to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Reading continually when you get a chance.
Right.
Putting nothing before the truth, and pushing, going out on Saturdays, going out and pushing this truth. All right, and most of all, having faith while you're doing it. It says, "For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto thee, but the word preached did not profit them." All right, it did not profit. Who is them? Them is speaking of the of past times. All right, those Israelites. Really, what it's specifically speaking on is our forefathers who wandered in the desert because they were complaining. Well, at least Egypt gave us watermelons, man. I'm tired of eating this manna. Come on, you can't give us nothing but manna.
Where's my fresh wine?
It says. So they wandered. They didn't enter into that promise, being the kingdom, right? But the kingdom was stripped through our own wickedness. But we got to learn off of these scars. Learn. Hey, what does the book of Baruch say? The book of Baruch says, since it was our transgressions that we fell off, so being returned, we got to seek the Lord 10 times more.
That's right.
It says, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. They didn't have no faith. They didn't have no faith, man. They had more faith than the Egyptians giving them fucking watermelons than the Most High Yahawashi Yahawashi bringing them into the kingdom.
That's right. That's after they saw the plagues and miracles.
Right. And that's why you so-called I'm gonna say so-called Israelites, because not all of Israel are of Israel.
Right.
All right, who are trying to build a foundation in this kingdom. All of you that are trying to do this, you're trying to go to Esau.
Right.
You're trying to go. That's a lack of faith.
That's you, man.
God.
That's you niggas who want that shit, man.
Cause
Trying to get out of Babylon.
you're gonna be bugged out when you really do see them churches. Oh my God, it really is. What's true? I thought, but I didn't believe. What the fuck was you doing then?
Chicken watermelon right goddamn now.
For we, which have believed, do enter into rest, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath. All right, those that believe, those that have faith, they're going to enter into the kingdom. Which actually, this brings me on a dream. I wasn't really going to say nothing about it, but this brings me on a dream I just had the other night, and it was a row of brothers in garments, all kinds of different garments, standing there and looking to one direction, right? And we're all and we're all standing on a big old street similar to this, man. But it was like a highway actually. We're standing on the sidewalks and we're looking to one direction, and you could tell brothers they were getting that spiritual power. And in my head, it was a thing of faith. And I was over there thinking, I was like, oh man, I believe in Yahawashi, and and it was a thing of faith. And as that faith was increasing and going more and more, you just felt that power just taking control. And I ended up getting woken up by my woman, and she's like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, what?" She's like, "You're breathing crazy right now. You're breathing crazy in your sleep." You go. I guess that's what I was doing during the dream, man.
That's the spirit, man.
God.
That's the spirit, because brothers is having all kinds of dreams about seeing spiritual shit, and just having a spiritual experience, whatever it may be.
Scriptures say, "Your young men shall dream dreams."
Yeah, and it's starting to happen like throughout Israel. Brothers is having dreams, waking up like, damn, I gotta tell somebody about this.
Where everybody said, he said the Lord was like judgment, and then
zapping folks to Mexico and shit.
Yeah, so man, we gotta believe, we gotta have faith. All right.
If I can say real quick, brother, faith means believing without seeing.
That's right. I gotta see.
It says, for we which have believed do enter into rest, so you gotta believe. It says, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. All right, so now it's speaking of.
I don't know, bro. Jerry curl. I don't know.
I'm curling, baby.
You said he got the Jerry curl?
yeah, he said it's just saying. I'm
I
like,
don't know
bro,
where they come from, bro.
she ever.
I can't. Hey, I'm still kind of shocked when this homie drove by with Patty's whip.
That's so fucked up. That was like the second time around too.
Oh, man.
They're peacocking, man.
With the
Yeah.
LA Lakers.
Because they're comfortable here in Babylon. No, you're good, brother. But that's just testimony to it, man.
Yeah.
That's the lack of faith. I'm gonna get myself a nice car. And I'm gonna just be riding down. I'm at home, baby. I'm at home.
I'm gonna bang this E40
I'm gonna give me a fast bike and go.
I'm gonna go peacock at the mall.
for hours, baby.
Trying to find some niggas bitch.
For some
Yo.
For some reason, he's trying to get that clean field joint.
No, you're good, brother.
Trying to get bitten all kinds.
It says, if they shall enter into my rest. Yes, if they shall enter into my rest, the works were finished, or although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. What does that mean? Although the works were finished, meaning everything was all chosen and selected when the world was created.
So there is no, hey man, there ain't no such thing as no free will, bro.
God, and those elect, they were chosen since the foundation of the world.
That's right.
They helped build the foundation of the world.
It says, for he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and the heavenly Father did rest the seventh day from all his works. So now it's getting into the rest, which is the Sabbath, right? But this real rest that's coming, this real rest is going to be the kingdom for Israel.
That's right.
All right, you're gonna have a little bit of rest on the Sabbath though. You're gonna love that day.
Oh yeah. They gonna know what day the Sabbath is too, because they ain't gonna forget.
Oh my God, this is Sabbath.
I get to lay under my loincloth between two posts.
Come lay with me, baby.
It
I'm gonna
says,
check.
It ain't gonna be.
And you know, that's part of being born again. Is you might be celebrating the Sabbath one day, and you need to be open to understand that you might be wrong, or you might be keeping Passover, or you might be doing something wrong. And then when a brother corrects you, you need to be born again like a child, humble enough to accept if it's true, or do your own research. Honestly, you should actually be researching. We're bringing out so that you could understand. You shouldn't just take our word for it.
Right.
You should be studying to show yourself approved.
it says, and in this place again. All right, so he spoke on this wise, on the foundation of this earth, being the seventh day of the rest, and then he says, and in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest. So, and in this place again. So that's what Yahawashi was saying. Yahawashi Hamashiach was saying, and in this place again. I'm speaking of it now, of this rest, which is the kingdom. All right. So I heard a lot of people try to use this scripture to justify us not having to do the Sabbath. But what it is, man, is people are trying to justify their wickedness.
Right.
You know, people will try to find any reason to not eat pork, to not do the Sabbath, to not do this. You just want to basically walk around and do whatever the hell you want and be forgiven.
It's
like me and this brother were talking. You know what? I'm gonna pray over this man's wife, and then I can have her.
She's
She'll be
sanctified.
cleansed.
I can dive on in it.
You want to find any little reason you can,
Let
man.
me pray over this pork real quick.
That's,
It's
but
unclean.
see, that's the kind of shit why the Lord had to change it up, because niggas was doing wicked shit like that.
They still are, Nathaniel.
Yeah.
In his church, leave your husband if he's not in the truth. Leave him.
Leave him. Come to one of
You'll
us.
find a man in the truth.
Right.
And us here at GMS, man, we deal with facts out of the Bible. All right, we ain't trying to justify none of that shit. If it don't say it in the Bible,
I want to hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know why that rubs people the wrong way. They're like, you don't have your own opinions.
No, because mine doesn't matter.
You don't have your own thought process.
You ain't nobody's gonna opinion their ass to the kingdom.
Right.
I feel to the kingdom.
I feel.
Yeah, you're not gonna. I feel your way.
We are the bride to Yahawashi. Should our wives, should our children have an opinion? You know, should our wives have opinion? No.
I don't know.
They should just obey. That's what love is obedience.
It says, this is verse 6. Seeing, therefore, it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not. Where's that 2/3 sign, brother?
Music.
All right. Those who to whom it was first preached entered not. And this is talking about the ancient kingdom of Israel. And if you don't understand that, then read the third chapter, all the third chapter. It says, but this time it's the kingdom of heaven, and 2:30 you fucking coons are dying, man.
That's right. That's right.
Shit.
It says,
Wait, hold on. I'm 6'10". I don't fucking put my head out to something.
No, man.
What's the excuse?
Last week,
And you can.
Last week, remember there was that nigga that
Yeah, was
literally
hanging
was
out.
like hanging
Look,
out in the
hanging
car,
out the-
like,
Woo, 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 cool, cool, cool.
yeah, it was like, nigga, you know, I hope you fall, you little faggot.
So they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of their unbelief. All right, because of their unbelief,
He wanted to
man.
flex over here, but he's
So like I said, we need to take all these things together. All these